Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're going to start a little bit differently today. We're going to start out by doing an affirmation that is an old Unity standby, and one Michael and I have been doing, 30 years. Anyway, I'm going to ask how you are, and you're going to respond with, I'm alive, alert, awake, joyous, and enthusiastic about life. And we're going to do it with feeling. So, good morning. How is everybody?
I'm alive, awake, joyous, and enthusiastic about life.
Let's try enthusiastic about life one more time. I am alive, alert, awake, joyous, and enthusiastic about life. That's it. That's exactly it. And those are the words we want to start out with. And if we could start out with that every morning and then believe it, we would be exactly where we want to be every day. Unfortunately, we're human, so we don't always get to do that. But the intention's there, and if the intention's there, it manifests. Michael and I have just been through some really odd stuff over the last 3-4 months. And I was doing a lot of reading and a lot of affirmations and a lot of writing and frankly getting not much of anywhere. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm taking all the steps and doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm saying everything I'm supposed to. I've got it written down everywhere. Where's the magic in my words? I forgot the best words. Let go. Let God. I didn't need to do anymore. I had done it. I had written an affirmation 25 times every single night before I went to bed, counted my blessings every morning, set my goals. I did it all, but I was so busy doing that I forgot to be and let God do what God does. So my words were there, but I wasn't paying any attention to them. I stopped. And I said, okay, this isn't working. What am I doing wrong? And then realized I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just hadn't been paying attention because I was so busy talking about it that I wasn't listening to the answers I was getting. So I stopped and I took a deep breath and I said, okay, either it works or it doesn't work. Well, duh, if I'd have said that 2 months ago, we'd have been doing a lot better. So I stopped doing that, and my daughter, all of you I'm sure are aware, most of you are aware that we've had our granddaughter living with us for the last 2 years. Mainly because our daughter was very ill and couldn't keep her. So I got a call, about a month ago, and my daughter says to me, Mom, it just dawned on me that McKenna's feeling abandoned. Well, duh. I had that one figured out from the gate. But she said, and I've been talking to McKenna, and McKenna really feels very, very strongly that she doesn't really have anybody but you and Dad who care that much about her. And she said, it's time for me to step back up and be her mom. And I'm thinking, yay, thank heavens. Well, she talked to McKenna and asked McKenna what she wanted to do. And our agreement had been that McKenna would stay with us through high school. And I'm getting grayer and grayer as we think about this. She's 14, and that's not an easy age, and especially not for a child who's been through the kind of things she's been through. So when Shannon said this to me, I'm like, wow, okay, this could happen. Well, talking to McKenna had said, Grandma, I really want to go, but I don't want you to feel like I don't care about you or like I don't appreciate what you've done. And Michael and I are both like, no, honey, we understand. Go be with Mom. Go be with Mom. It'll be good for you. Thinking, thank you, God. One of the things, of course, we've been asking for is for McKenna to feel more secure and to have the life that every 14-year-old deserves and not being raised by 70-year-old grandparents. Not that, we're that old, but anyway, so McKenna got on a plane with a big smile on her face and about a third of her things packed. And She's with her mom. We have a guest room, a real live guest room. And we have a very quiet house where Michael and I can talk to each other again without worrying about whether McKenna's feelings are going to get hurt or we're going to say something that isn't quite politically correct, because McKenna has been very active in just about everything that concerns the world, and poor little thing hasn't had a sense of humor about it, so say the wrong thing, she gets a little upset. And again, we're back to words. So that started the upward swing for us. And then we've been struggling because I had a client who, unfortunately for them and me, went out of business and left owing quite a bit of money. And it's been a struggle for us, and I'm like, what are we gonna do now? Oh my gosh, forgetting again, ask God. I had asked, but I didn't shut up long enough for God to get busy. So I did, in letting everything go, I let that go too. And about a week ago, I got an email from a client that I haven't really worked with for about 2 years. And it seems she's got a big project and wanted to know if I was interested, and by the way, would I send my contract right away? So there we go again. Fixed it. Meanwhile, Michael had been saying, I need to do something different here. So he started doing affirmations, and he has them on the bathroom mirror on a card. I don't let him write on the mirror otherwise, but he has them on a card on the mirror, and he's got his affirmations written down in several places. And all of a sudden, he's busy, really busy. He's a wedding minister, as most of you know. He did 3 weddings and a rehearsal over the 4th of July weekend, and then had a music gig on the 4th of July. Could have had 3 more weddings, but chose the music gig instead. Then got a call from another band that wanted him to run sound for him at a time when he didn't have a gig. So all in all, he had set a goal, and he's already surpassed the goal for this month. So words definitely worked. What wasn't working so well is for us to be patient, to let it do its job, to let spirit in. Instead of being so busy doing, we forgot to be. So we did. So that just starts and that was all just to convince you that this really does work, in case you guys didn't figure out that I'm a fan of this. Words are where we started. It isn't where it finishes, of course, but we started with words. The positive words that we all know that we sometimes fail to use. If there's something lacking in your life, are you talking about it? Are you saying, I don't have this, or I don't have that? Or are you shoulding all over yourself with I should have been here, I should have been there, I should have done this, I should have done that? That's all past. That's behind us. We don't have anything but today. We don't have tomorrow. We don't have next week, because when it gets here, it's today. So the first thing we have to do is talk about the things that we desire in our lives as if it's happened. We don't say, oh, I'm going to have money. I'm going to have good health. I'm going to have whatever it is that you're looking for. I'm going to have a new house. I'm going to have the love of my life. No, I have the love of my life, which I do, because I'm lucky. But I have love, I have wealth, I have health. When you talk about those things, don't allow the current to interfere. If you can't see it right now, it's only because Spirit hasn't finished manifesting it. If you don't see it in your bank account, it's only because you haven't seen it yet. It's there. The minute that we ask, it's given. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get it onto the physical plane. But we all know, when we affirm and believe, that's when the magic takes place. The magic in words is in our belief in them, in our faith. And I have a really good quote here, if I can find it. Since I don't usually make notes, this is going to be, oh, here it is. This is What is Faith? And I got this out of a book that I've been reading off and on for the last probably 3-4 months. Anyway, the definition. Faith is to believe what you do not see, and the reward of that faith is to see what you believe. True?
Yep.
And it's kind of like, duh, of course it is. But no matter what we say with faith, it manifests. And it doesn't matter whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. If we say it and believe it, it happens. And words are magic, and they can be either beautiful, white magic, or they can be dark. And the minute that we start talking about ourselves or other people and things that have gone the wrong direction, we're simply feeding into that. We're giving our subconscious a reason to manifest the things that we really don't want. But we've just said we do. We've said, I'm not happy. Guess what? Self-fulfilling prophecy. The subconscious, which is the main communicator with spirit, is very literal. Doesn't have a sense of humor. So if you say, my back always hurts, you aren't getting any relief anytime soon. Because you just said it. You just gave it your all. You believed it. You said it. And when you believe it, you get it. I think we should get t-shirts. When I say it and I believe it, I get it. Of course, we might not want to do that if we're not in a good frame of mind. But that's why I had to start out with the I'm alive, alert, awake, joyous, and enthusiastic about life. Those are magic words. We all use them every day. But how do we use them? Do we use them for good or evil, quote unquote? Because we all know there really isn't any evil, it's what we imagine. But how do we use them? Think about words that you use every day. Things you say, good and not so good. Real positive and maybe not so positive. Now I want you just to take a second and think about that. And come up with one thing that you say that you pretty often say it, that's good. And something else you say that maybe isn't quite what it needs to be. Now, anybody want to volunteer for one of the things they say that's positive, that they use daily? Hello, Michael.
A plant.
I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't do my homework. Let's see.
What do you think?
I can't think of it.
Oh, I can, but I'm not going to help you. So we'll let you think about it for a minute. Oh, go ahead.
God speaks to me and through me.
Good, really good. Awesome. Okay, anybody got one that they tend to use sometimes that maybe isn't the best they could possibly use? Nora?
I'm broke.
Yeah, oh, one of my favorites, yes. I'm broke. For anybody who didn't hear that, I'm old, yes. That's another one of my real good ones.
I don't have time.
Yes. Oh, now, did those resonate with anybody? Oh, Cindy, I have pens here too. I brought, they're tested. They were. As you saw, there's a piece of paper in your program, and it just is words I use. And I did this. I would recommend drawing a line down the middle and putting the words you use that are good in big letters, and then maybe the words that you don't want to use anymore in small letters. Or skip the words you don't want to use anymore altogether and just go with the words that you know you can use every day that will bring about the things that you want. We don't have a fountain of youth, but we do if we speak it, if we say, I'm as young as I feel. I'm not old, I'm experienced. Yeah, I kind of like that one. It's like the fine wine thing, you know. But think about what you're saying. And think about what you're really asking the universe for. Are you asking for the things you want? Can anybody think of something they would really like to have in their lives that you're willing to share?
Long legs.
Hey, I could go with you there. I could go with a couple extra inches high.
More love.
More love, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the other thing. What we don't want to say is, and it really seems like it's a positive thing when you say, I have all the love I could possibly want. What? I think you just limited yourself. I have all the money I need. Oh, goody. What about all the money you want? What about all the happiness you want? Anybody got all the happiness they want? Always? Every day?
Yeah.
Good. Good. And that's what we want. For most of us, saying it is not exactly where we really are. I mean, I get up some mornings and I'm grateful for everything. And I get up some mornings and I'm not at all. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, everybody should have the experience of going into Maryland's apartment and seeing all of the all the stuff. That is a wonderland of positive affirmations. I mean, she's got all the
Field
things she
trip.
loves and
Good.
Field trip.
That's awesome.
yeah, field trip.
So I was just gonna say, we're all going to Maryland's this afternoon.
Carpool.
That's great.
Right from the door.
Road trip.
The door.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So you know exactly what we're talking about here today, don't you? Do you want to give us one of your affirmations, just one?
Well, I watch out what comes after I am.
Yes,
Because my I am is my God self,
right,
and what I put next, is, because that's power.
right. Be careful what you
I
put
am.
next to I am. Yes, absolutely. And I, for a long time, was guilty of that particular one. I'm tired.
I love thinking, I am God's beloved child.
Exactly.
And that's the truth. So that-
I have a rich Father in heaven. I've often said, my dad spoiled me rotten. I mean, he really did. If I wanted it, I got it, and I couldn't do any wrong, which was kind of cool, except for people around me sometimes. But if that's what my earthly father was willing to do, what about the Father of us all? What can we expect? But we don't ask for it. And if we don't ask for it, we're not going to get it. I mean, we might stumble across it, but we might not recognize it when it comes either. And sometimes we do have to climb through some garbage to get to where we want to be. But it's not that. It's lessons we're learning. And they're things we really need to know so that when we get the things that we've prayed for, that we've affirmed, when they're right there in front of us, we know that's what it is, and we can appreciate it. We already have a plan for it. With Michael and I've told the story before, but it bears repeating. We each had a God can. And in the God can, we had listed the attributes that we wanted in the person that we were going to spend our lives with. And since both of us had 3 marriages that didn't work so well behind us, we thought maybe we both ought to do something different. And I put my list in my God can, and Michael put his in his God can. And we didn't know each other at the time. And within probably a few weeks of when I started mine, there he was in church one day. What a concept, meet someone in church. A big improvement over where I'd been meeting people, to tell you the truth. And after we were together for a while, we both realized we had these God cans, and we opened them up. And I went through my list, I showed it to Michael, And he went, well, I'm that, and I'm that, and I'm that, and I'm that, and I'm that. And I looked at his and said, okay, really? You had to get that detailed? But I got it. So it was okay. Again, what was it? It was words. And what was behind it? Faith. Without the faith, the words wouldn't have made any difference. With the faith, we both got what we wanted. I mean, there might be some days where he wishes I'd be a little quieter, but that's not going to happen. So he deals with it pretty well. But anything that you really want, stop saying you want it, say you have it. You have it now. You're not going to get it because that's always going to put it off. I'm going to have, well, the universe says, okay, if you're going to have, we're waiting too. Because you didn't say, I have. I have love. I have happiness. I have wealth. I have security. I have beauty all around me. I have blessings overflowing because I have faith. Because you have faith. Because we all have the same goal. And we all, if we think about it, know how to get there. Now, if you take a minute and think about what it is that you have in your life now, that you want to affirm that you've got in your life now, the things that mean the most to you. And I'm sure as we've talked, all of you have sat there and thought about that. Or if you haven't, you've spent time over the last couple of weeks thinking about the things that you know you have coming, that you know are blessings that are yours. This morning is the time we're going to reach out and affirm that we have those blessings, that we have all those things that we want. If that's too much, if the list gets too long, pick your top 3. What is it you really, really want? What is it that you know that still small voice within you tells you is yours? Claim it. Now close your eyes and think about it for just a minute. And I'm not going to ask you to share unless you want to. But just think about it. And while we're thinking about that, let's just relax a little bit. Take a couple of deep breaths. Lean back in your chair. Close your eyes if you want to. And just drift. Just lay back and relax. See yourself in a pool of water, floating on your back, with the breeze gently blowing over you, and the sun coming through the trees, and only the sound of birds and leaves rustling, quiet all around you. And now look around you and see the things that you want most in your life. See them right there on the banks of the pool. And as they take shape, slowly float over to them. And when you get to them, climb out of the water and sit down with the things that you know are yours surrounding you. And feel the energy and the peace that comes with knowing you're one with the universe, that you're in tune with spirit. and that now is the time for all of your blessings to manifest. And just relax for a minute and feel the warmth and the security of having those things that you know Spirit wants for you. And now bringing those things with you, slowly open your eyes and return here to the sanctuary. And as you return, take that paper and write down those things that you saw, the things that you know are yours, that Spirit wants you to have, that you've been prompted all morning long to recognize as yours. And anybody who doesn't have a pen, oh, the paper should be in your program.
I didn't get a program.
Oh, well, there you go. I'm just gonna wait a minute while everybody gets their paper in there. And all we need with these wishes, with these prayers, is the faith to know that it's happening now. It's ours. And feel that. As you're writing those things down, as you're thinking them, you don't have to write them if you don't want to. You can think about them. Or you can take a little nap. It's okay. Power naps are good too. But think about it and think how you feel having those things that your heart desires. So it's not just the words that are magic, it's the feeling you can bring with them. And I think the biggest magic word is faith. That's my word for the day, and hopefully for a long time to come. Now, does anybody have anything that they want to share? And you don't have to, of course, but if you'd like to share, feel free. Okay. How about an affirmation that we can come up with together for something that I'm sure everybody wants? How about unconditional happiness? Can somebody give me some words for that one? Some positive, affirmative words for receiving unconditional happiness, for having unconditional happiness. Michael.
I'm a child of God and I now have unconditional happiness and wealth in my life.
That's a good one. Anybody feel like repeating that? I do. Michael, you want to
I'm a
lead
child
that?
of God and I now have unconditional happiness and wealth in my life.
I'm a child of God,
God.
And I have
and I have unconditional happiness and wealth
wealth
in my life. Now.
now.
Yes, we can do two nows, it's okay. So I will leave you with that, and you can carry that with you today, maybe into the rest of the week, and come up with your own affirmations and your own words. Just remember, the magic is in the words as long as we have faith. So be careful what you say. Thank you.